Let's do it.
All right. So the first question is just kind of where you were born or grew up, and your education, and then this can be either formal or sort of informal.
Oh yeah, well, I'm a Los Angeles native, born and raised. I went to California College of the Arts in San Francisco. Uh, Only have that's my highest level of degree, although I've been teaching a lot in the design world for a long time, and then learned a lot in professional practice.
Sort of where did you come into this passion and kind of get involved in design, or when did you know that was something you wanted to do?
I went to CCA to study illustration. I had like a proclivity for art and an ability. It was just something that I was good at. But once I went to school, I saw this other major, graphic design, and I just kind of was like, oh wow, this looks really cool. But then as I learned more about design, the idea of having a larger impact on people's lives was something that appealed to me. Um, Helping shape the world around us was something that was very attractive to me, and that it was there was a utility to the art.
What are your kind of core design values, and how do you think your sort of core design values have also changed over time?
As I've become older and more experienced in my career and doing more thinking about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and who I'm serving, it's a consideration of how that art might spark something in people's lives or spark creativity in their own life, um, and have some type of emotional value to them. The short end of the answer is my core value is designing things that spark creativity in others and have a positive impact for other people's lives.
I'm just curious, when you're doing these different projects, what's kind of your design process?
The process is being open to analysis of what the project is about. And I'm weary of designers that have a set methodology. Every project begins with a degree of research, but that's research is going to be different if I'm working with a band versus if I'm working with a hospital. Um, but at the end of the day, they're both the same thing. Asking questions, be observing, and considering how it's being used.
How do you collaborate with other individuals to realize sort of your impactful work?
The higher caliber musicians, it's more of a vague kind of conceptual conversation. A lot of like conversations, and then personally, a lot of like word diagrams and just.
All right. Then kind of switching gears, the next question is, where do you personally think that design is going?
It's becoming such a diverse profession, and these what used to be kind of siloed, all starting to, I think, bleed together as utility, as our awareness of utility and making the world easier to access comes together. I think design that serves humanity a little bit more consciously is going to be something that we could use more of.
What do you kind of see as the biggest challenges?
We are surrounded now by so much media and so much messages, and that we are, if you're just constantly scrolling on Instagram and Instagram stories, and people in our world aren't on Facebook anymore, but there's so much noise in the digital space, and it's important is that we use design and technology in a smarter way to connect in a more meaningful way.
The last question I have is just any advice you'd have for people trying to enter the design world?
It would be wise to identify sectors that you are attracted to outside of design, sports or outdoorsness or health, and almost becoming like an expert in that world positions you more than just kind of like what we used to call as just being like a wrist or like a hired hand to